Alright, let's just get this fucking feedback and rant out of the way. So let me first say that I'm glad to have a 10-day trial and not be subbed to this shit game. Yeah, that's a fucking men for that, am I right, guys? We'll start with the good, because that list is extremely fucking short, and it can be gotten out of the way quickly. One, I really like the point defense module on the new Citadels. Yes, it's an AoE weapon, but it actually looks like it has point defense guns and animations and stuff around it. The entire Citadel shoots, and that is fucking awesome. Granted, it needs work, because over the half of the AA guns seem to be shooting from points in space a good 5 or 10k more, or even further, away from where the freaking surface of the Citadel is, so you just have bullets coming out of the fucking mid-air in space for no reason. So yeah, that needs cleaned up. But overall, it's pretty freaking good. You know? It's way better than some cheesy freaking AoE pulse weapon like the smart bombs. And honestly, I'll go a step further, is to say that the smart bomb animation needs to be replaced with this new Citadel point defense guns. I want all of our ships to have awesome little point defense guns. I mean, that's one of the things I was thinking about when I first got in EvE. I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna have a cruiser, and the cruiser's gonna beat frigates and stuff, and some people are gonna throw drones and fighters at me and missiles and stuff, and I'll shoot them out with my point defense gun. Yeah, it didn't fucking happen. EVE is a fucking joke. So if that's what you think, and you haven't actually played this game before, and you want actual spaceships in space, don't fucking play EvE. But let's move on to the next thing. I also like the Citadel's options for Corp and Alliance management, and the fact that we can build our own stations that are supposedly more secure from internal Corp thieves. You know, that's pretty good. You know, because I can specifically now choose who I want to have what. And I don't have to worry about giving this guy advanced rights, which will also allow him to either take fuel out or to shut off modules on the tower. You know, there's some security issues with the old system, so that's good. Now, on to the rest. Yeah, that's right, only two good things about the game. Now, let's get on to the rest. Citadels, right now, as it stands, are massive multi-billion-esque baby-fucking seals that come with their own free clubs. You know, so the DPS is fucking hilariously bad, as is the amount of utility modules. The only modules that's fine, at least in terms of damage, would be the point defense batteries. And even that needs the animation fix and point defense, like animation spawn points, like I was talking about, cleaned up a little. So not even that is perfect or working right. The anti-subcap weapons are a complete fucking joke. Solo ships of each class, you know, like your solo frigates and cruisers and battleships, can easily tank a Citadel's weapons, easily. Without even trying. The DPS at a minimum needs to be 5 times what it is currently for each type of ammo. I haven't really tried the capital weapons, but if I had to guess, I'd say they're probably pretty shitty too. But you know, and you hear that and you think that sounds crazy. 5 times, you know, there's no way it can be that bad. But so you say that and you think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. Go out there, grab a Citadel, and try it on the test server. You will realize that I am not exaggerating when you realize how fucking crappy those weapons are. you can tank Citadels permanently in anything. The DPS is abysmal. Seriously, there's your homework. Go fucking test. It's laughable what CCP wants to do. And then and then once you do test it, go ahead and start shitting beads, knowing that the only defense your new base will have is something that's, you know, that you can passively fucking ignore. Now, this number isn't some random thing that I pulled out of my ass either. It comes from years of experience from attacking and defending posses. Most importantly, it also comes from not being a retard with math and being able to understand simple fucking numbers in mathematics. You know, like I said, that number isn't random. Now, you couple the abysmal DPS of Citadels with the fact that in their current form, they can't point things if they aren't out of their invulnerability mode. They're absolutely useless. And the new fighters are just fucking god-awful, like the guns, too. Nothing works. None of this stuff is working. And even worse, unlike posses, none of this shit works if you don't have somebody inside the Citadel controlling it. That's right, no auto-attacking of hostiles like we used to have. You know, there has to be somebody in there. And I hate the fact that Citadels won't let you reprocess... That's right, Citadels won't let you reprocess ships like capital ships and stuff like that when you dock inside them. And I still haven't made the biggest point of all. You know, and the scariest thing, you know? I'm talking about how bad the DPS is and how you can solo tank them. Well, what the fuck are you supposed to do when the enemy fleet has Logi, which they will? You know, they're talking about, oh, we want a large Citadel to, you know, tank 15,000 DPS for 30 minutes. All right, that is fucking horrendous. Okay, that is unimaginably bad. I can't even believe that was what was pitched. And I understand that, yeah, you don't want them to grind forever, but that was half of the POS's defense. Back in the day, people were saying POSs were too vulnerable, and they were. I mean, you really couldn't do anything if somebody dropped 2 caps on you. You were bound. But at the same time, it took forever to grind them down, and unless you brought a big, you know, 100-man fleet with 20, well, not 20, well, 15, 20 Logi, yeah. 100-man fleet with 15, 20 Logi, you weren't going to bash down a really good Citadel, you know, or I'm sorry, POS. You know why? Because they had stuff like 3, 4, sometimes 6-point modules all working at the same time, up to half a dozen jammers all working at the same time, and anywhere from 8 to 15,000 DPS all working at the same time. Granted, it was random and it wasn't focused. That's where POS gunners come in. You could alpha people off the field if you focused them down through Logi. So what the fuck are these? What is this new Citadel system in fighters gonna do against a fleet when they can't even take out solo ships? What are they gonna do against stuff that has Logi support? You're gonna lose your shit. And another thing is, you know, the CCP's like, oh, it's got 1,000 DPS and blah 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 blah, and that's good, right? It's like, CCP, do you understand that there are cruisers, battleships, and battle cruisers that easily get that fucking damage, and then they can easily tank it too. There are multiple battleships and cruisers that can tank that. So to take out a large Citadel, all you've got to do is bring roughly 12 decent DPS battleships, you know, from the 1 to 1.2k range, sit them on there and bring like 5 Logi, and not even, the fucking 2 Logi, and you're good to go. And they don't even have to be logistic cruisers. You can tank them with logistics frigates. They're that bad. And you're good to go. That's all you gotta do. It's mind-blowing how bad this update is. And I'm pretty sure this is all Fozzie's fault, too, as most things are. Fozzie and Team 5-0, they've been shitting up the game and killing it over the last 4 or 5 years. He's a literal cancer that is killing this game from the inside out. And the best part is people are just fucking letting it happen, too. They're just letting it happen. I can't even believe it. Oh, right, I almost forgot. What about all the other things that POSs can do that Citadels can't? We're supposed to be replacing POSs with Citadels. Well, what about jump bridges? What about system-wide cynojammers? What about moon mining? What about chemical and T3 reactions? What about advanced manufacturing and discounts for production and stuff? You know, what happens to all that shit? Citadels aren't replacing that. And POSs are getting removed. As it stands, you can't even anchor a new POS on the test server anymore. And I'm assuming that's going to be the same thing when the server goes live. So, where's all that content going? People, plebs. That is the definition of content. Generating kill mails and role-playing inside this fucking game is not content. Content is everything I just described that is getting removed. Alright? I know that's what a lot of you think, but it's not true. Content is the shit that is getting removed right now. All of that functionality that I just listed is pretty much gone. That's what content is. Well, that's what content was, is what I should say. That's more correct. Now it's just a void that makes EvE that much more boring. But that's enough on Shitadels. Let's talk about the Crapital ship changes. Yet another massive shit change from Team 5-0, headed by CCP Fozzie, aka Cancer / douchebag. I mean, no, seriously, if you log into our corp and you see inside the bulletins, we have several things referring to posts that he's made, and the link just says, so-and-so explained by CCP douchebag. You know? The entire corp refers to him as that. And I'm like one of the last 5 people who still plays this game from that. Actually, I don't even really play. We already just said at the beginning of the game, I'm only on a 10-day trial, and by the time this video gets out, it'll be ended. Thank fuck for that, because if anything, this update makes me not want to play the game more. So I'm glad. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's get back to the capital ship changes. You know, anyone will tell you, especially if there's any old players left from like the last 5 years who've stuck around, that they hate fucking Fozzie. They hate him. And if they haven't quit already, they'll pretty much back me up on that. But if CCP wanted to give capital ships all modules and options that normal smaller ships have, that's fine. Do it. But for the love of Christ, don't nerf the shit out of them by cutting their 3 fucking HPs in half and making me have to waste what precious little slots I had just to get back one or maybe, I'm not even going to say 2, 1 of my old stats. That's not a fucking buff. That's a massive nerf. And if you think that I'm going to take a multi-billion-isk capital ship out there to get killed by a single fucking cruiser when I can't even fight back, you're retarded. And another thing, who in their right fucking mind wants to sit here for 1 to 2 years and spend over $250 in sub to get one fucking capital ship in this game for it to be nerfed out of the fucking game to the point where it's not even useful anymore? It's completely and utterly pointless. If you tell somebody from anywhere else that there's a game called EVE Online out there and you can get these capital ships and you can go these big battles, that sounds cool and all. Well, that's cool. How long is it going to take you to get into a capital ship? Well, to get into it, about almost a year. To actually be good at it, about 2 years. And they'll look at you like you're fucking retarded. Because that is the normal, logical reaction to have. Why would anyone want to spend that much time in a game to get this stuff? And even worse is then you tell them that by the time you get it, if you're lucky to even get it, they're going to nerf it out of the game and shit on it. So, why are you people still here? You should just biomass your characters right now, or black market trade them away and get some money back. Get something back. Fuck this change. Seriously, I can't. I'm practically hysterical with laughter because it's so bad. I can't believe that people are in charge of development and think that this is a good idea. And the new high-angle weapons, they're a fucking joke too. Again, not enough DPS. High application for capital weapons is a good idea, but the DPS needs to be in the range of around 5 fucking K when sieged. That way you can actually break the tank of well-tanked subcaps and pressure Logi supporting them. 800 to 1.2k DPS like they have now is a fucking joke. It's not even a joke. It's sad. It literally makes me want to cry. Except I'm too macho and won't actually cry, but you get the point. As I said before, there are battleships and battlecruisers that can easily tank that and won't give a flying fuck, let alone having Logi on them. That's completely ineffective. And dreadnoughts are getting nerfs to their normal guns too. And they pretty much all have had a nerf, but not as bad as the Phoenix. What the fuck happened to that? They have a new thing that says, oh, you get 80% missile reduction in siege mode on your reload, but the default is like 180 seconds on torpedoes for a repeat shot if you're not in siege. And then with skills and everything, it cuts it down to like 100 or not 100, like 75 seconds or whatever. It's terrible. And then once you go into siege, you have a 13-second reload with max skills and damage increasing and weapon reload mods. Now, that sounds great. No, 13 seconds is the old default when you were out of siege. Most other dreadnought guns have a 13-second reload by default before all of the skills and bonuses and weapon upgrade mods are applied to it. This isn't a fucking balance patch, guys. This is not a capital balance patch. This is a capital imbalance patch. That's all Fozzie ever does. Everything he touches just turns to shit. Everything that he's pushed out in the past has shown that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, or maybe he does. Maybe he's intentionally in a tinfoil hat time. Maybe he's intentionally trying to fuck this game from the inside out. And when the massive chunk of your community has a Fire Fozzie movement on Reddit, you think maybe, just maybe, they're not trolling? Do you think maybe that the community is kind of pissed off of what this guy's doing to their beloved game that they pour tons and tons of time in? That can't fucking be it, can it? That's not it. That can't possibly be it. That's crazy fucking talk. By Stalin and Lenin, he's using logic. Fucking hit him with a chair, off to the gulags with him. That can't be it. No, that's not it. No, Fozzie's definitely doing a good job. Good job, Fozzie. You're shitting the game up from the inside out and killing it from the inside out, and you go right ahead and keep doing that, buddy. You know what I think? I think Fozzie used to be a player at one point. And I think somebody touched his Rifter somewhere that he didn't like. And then I think that they trolled him over it. And you know what else? I think that after all that, he decided that he was going to get back at the game and everybody who plays this game because they wronged him. And he was going to become a dev and kill the game from the inside out. And there'd be nobody to stop him because he's the head balance guy. I don't fucking know how. Anyone with half a brain would be like, this is retarded. What are you doing? You make Marauders into massive, or not massive, miniature freaking dreadnoughts that require 5k DPS to break their fucking tank the old-fashioned way. you take capital ships like freighters back in the day, and you cut off all their freaking HP, cut off all their cargo, and then give them low slots and say, okay, you can choose between one of what you had. That's not a buff. That's a fucking nerf. Dumb shit. That's not a good change. It's fucking terrible. And freighters were getting ganked left and right back then too, and now it's even easier to gank them. Because as I've said before, what do you get when you put all freaking bulkhead reinforcers in there? You get what you used to have. That's it. That's all. That's the best you can do, is what you used to have. He's like a liberal regressive, you know. He's promoting change, and shitty changes at that, just for the change's sake. It doesn't even have to be good, and 9 times out of 10, it's fucking terrible. Just to say he changed it. That's all he's doing. Oh god, and back to the capital ships. Don't even get me started on the fucking carriers. The new squadrons are a freaking joke. They do no damage. They're a pain in the fucking dick to control. Carriers aren't carriers anymore. They don't assign fighters to people like they used to, and they have to move into battleship gun range practically to freaking launch fighters. And they're like, well, now they extended the range and they can throw fighters from like 5 kilometers away, I'm sorry, 5,000 kilometers away, and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't fucking matter, you know? You burn at him with a micro warp drive for a little bit with an interceptor and then just warp everybody to him. He's still on the field. He's still easily accessible. You don't even need to fucking scan him down anymore. You can see the fucker right there. Just fly over and grab him. On top of that, it's going to take those fighters 3 fucking years to get over there. Because fighters aren't that fast. And they can't warp around anymore. They were never overpowered to begin with. I don't know what the fuck people were smoking when they're like, oh, carriers were OP, nerf Skynet, nerf Skynet. It's like, dude, fucking get good. Seriously. I almost forgot to fucking bitch about the Force Auxiliaries or whatever they are. You know, that's another frickin' change that nobody asked for and nobody wanted and is terrible for the frickin' game. You know, the carriers used to be an endgame combat logi. That was the best you could work up for is logistics. That was a good idea. That was pretty cool. I mean, yeah, carriers shouldn't really be healing anyway. I kind of get that, and it was a little weird, but it worked. It was fine. And that, after all the other previous changes, that's all they fucking had left. And now they're taking that away and splitting them off into another ship for no fucking reason whatsoever. They don't need it. And these new ships are fucking terrible. They can't heal for shit. They can't take damage. They're completely defenseless. They're really expensive shit piles. It's just fail after fail after fail with these CCP updates. I'm glad I haven't played in the last year and a half. I really am. That's enough ranting on this terrible fucking game. But, you know, for my closing statements, there are 2 types of people that are currently still subscribed to EVE Online. Cucks and poor fools who don't know any better about what is to come because they have just started playing. And I feel bad for those poor fools. The cucks are pretty self-explanatory. You know, if you don't know what a cuck is, go look it up. C-U-C-K. And the poor fools will eventually find out just how bad EVE Online devs are later on, but not before wasting massive amounts of time and money that they will never get back. And then, by the way, I don't care if you agree with me or not, because this fucking change is gonna happen. EVE Online has been gearing up for to go free to play. I mean, just fucking look at it. You can tell it is. That's the only thing that's gonna save this piece of shit. And most of this crap is in place now. It's imbalanced as fuck. You've got shit cosmetics and skins. You've had character cosmetics for a while now. Skill injectors, and I forget what the fuck the other thing is, but I mean, just in the next 1 to 4 years, you can tell this shit's going down the free-to-play route. And that's not really a bad thing. I mean, that would probably be one of the few things to save the game, or at least prolong its death. But, And, you know, if it was free to play, at least then it would be worth logging in from time to time and wouldn't feel like a second job you have to fucking pay for. So maybe that is the best policy. But as for me, I'm super happy my 10-day trial's up. No, I don't want to come back. No, I'm not interested in your changes, CCP. In fact, after what I've seen, this patch only makes me want to stay far fucking away from this game and try to remember EvE for what it used to be. Now, it used to be a great game. People don't sit there and make bitchy rant videos for 10, 15 minutes or longer about everything that's wrong with the game because they fucking hate it. They do it because they used to love the game and they hate what it's become. And it doesn't have to be like that. It can be fixed. All you gotta do is fire Fozzie, preferably out of a cannon and into a sun, a literal sun. Like, seriously, fucking throw his ass up in space in the real world right now, strap a cannon to the space shuttle, and fire his ass at the sun. Don't even give him a spacesuit. Fuck that guy. And undo all of the patch changes that he has done over the last 4 years. That's how you start fixing the game. But I mean, that's all I really got. I really wish there was another game out there that I could play. Elite Dangerous is the next closest thing, but Elite Dangerous has like no content in it at all. All you can do is space truck mine and PvE/PvP. There's no planetary interaction. You can't do anything with the stuff you mine. There's no manufacturing. There's no capital ships. It's all just little fighters and stuff. I mean, there's Elite Dangerous could be fun, but it just doesn't have enough in there. And Scam Citizen will never fucking come out. I mean, let's be honest here, guys. Get real. There's no way that's coming out. And if it does, it's going to be nothing like what they promised. I could rant on for another 2 to 3 hours about all the shit changes over the last 4 years that were Fozzie's fault. And if I added why they're bad for the game, it would probably be a 10-hour video, but I'm not going to do that, because I'm simply just going to uninstall and live my life happier knowing that this train wreck of a game is fucking behind me. As for anyone who might be watching this and hasn't played the game yet, my advice to you is go watch the Escapist review of EVE Online, because that's extremely accurate, actually. That's a very accurate review, and I wish I had seen that before I even began to waste my time. And as for listening to your friends who are going, oh, you just gotta try it, or you gotta do this or that, just don't fucking listen to them. They're trolls. They're just trying to suck you in. All they want is like a buddy sign-up bonus. That's all they want. And when you hear that PR bullshit that CCP puts out to try and suck in new fools, I mean players, well, no, yeah, that was actually fools, that, oh, it's the biggest battle ever. That fucking shit happens like 2 to 3 times a year every fucking year, alright? After a while, you get jaded and stop caring. So fuck that PR bullshit that they come out with. Oh, it's the biggest battle ever. This is game-changing. This is groundbreaking. I'm not fucking buying that shit. I'm not drinking your Kool-Aid. Get the fuck out of here with that. Alright, that's enough for me. Later.